A rotten record. Have a listen to this, boys. Story on the back of the Sun this morning. Wow. Dwight Yorke, Man United legend, has launched a damning attack on Erik Ten Hag, saying he has not been as good as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He ended the United 6-year wait for a trophy, landing the Carabao Cup, but the Old Trafford legend Yorke claims the 9 Premier League defeats under the Dutchman must be called out. This is what he said. He said the result.
Isn't it? Because
I think it's a ridiculous
they could still
shout.
finish third.
Well, they can still win
and
a
win
double.
the FA Cup as well, yeah.
Double.
He said the results have not been good enough this season. Solskjaer had a better record than Ten Hag in his 2 full seasons managing the club. United are looking over their shoulders and are desperately trying to hold on to 4th place. I'm not sure that's where the club should be. Ray, that's a load of absolute nonsense.
It takes time, doesn't it, to build and try and challenge again. This transfer window, when it opens in the summer, is going to be interesting to see who goes where. They're crying out for a striker, so they're going to have to pay big money for a striker, I should imagine. But I don't probably agree with that. I think that if he's won a trophy. Look, it's not the ideal trophy to win.
It's still a trophy, though.
It's still a
6
trophy.
years. There's a long wait for
trophy.
Absolutely. An striker, couldn't he? Would you not think?
And I think top 4 will be vital for Manchester
United.
United. And I think they still will get top 4. If I'm being honest, I think the running they've got is not as difficult as some of the other teams.
Al, you're not having that, are you? You know Man United very well. They're a much better team now, aren't they, than any team Solskjaer had?
I think if you take Marcus out the side, do you know what I mean? It makes. I'm not saying he's a one-man team. He's not. But at the same time, if he's not playing,
needs a bit more help up front.
God,
yeah.
there's a big miss. So look, Dwight knows the club inside out. He's got his finger on the pulse more than I have up there.
Okay.
So you just got to respect what he says.
You mentioned centre forward, didn't you? Well, that takes me to the back of the mirror because it's a story by John Cross and Jeremy Cross. Man United fear they are facing a losing battle to sign Harry Kane. The England captain has been United's #1 transfer target, but Spurs determined to keep their club record goal scorer even though he's only got 1 year left on his contract. He's unlikely to sign a new deal, which means Spurs risk losing him for nothing next year. From a Spurs point of view, Ray, assuming Kane doesn't sign a new deal, which we don't think he will, is it wise to keep him for 1 more year, try and do something special next season, but then you risk losing
for
your greatest ever player for free to a rival?
Yeah,
which is scandalous, isn't it?
It's financially for the club.
Yeah,
it's a really difficult one.
I spoke to someone yesterday, a big Tottenham fan, was saying, Cabby, right? He said, I don't want Harry to go, but if it means the club getting money,
yeah, exactly,
then he's got to go.
We can't let him go
for nothing.
Just inside the Sun today, Wenger tells Kane to stay put for a year. So he's more or less saying, look, see your contract out, and then there'll be loads of clubs who...
Well, you don't know what's going to happen in Spurs. Spurs suddenly, you don't know who's coming in.
Yeah, sort of manager. Yeah.
It could be a much, much better season next year, and he might feel comfortable to say, I'll sign a new deal. You just don't know. Football's... changes.
So is that it? Are they going to try and gamble out and go, do you know what? Let's hope we get a good manager in, have a good year, and then who knows? We could finally convince Kane to sign that new deal.
Well, the one thing about Daniel Levy is he is, he's strong-willed, isn't he? But he will not like the stick he's been getting of late. He's sitting there in the director's box getting pelters. So, and he's a businessman. So there's no doubt if there's a concrete offer on that table, he'll think long and hard about taking it.
I think midfield is where they've got to buy someone.
All day long, Ray.
They've got to get a good day long. And all eyes will be on Leicester City this season, because if they do go down, Maddison, Harvey Barnes as well.
Yeah,
he's a good player.
Tielemans,
right? Yeah, Tielemans has been.
Indeed, he's brilliant as well.
There'll be quite a few clubs who will be looking at the teams who go down and saying, right, midfielders. Southampton, they're going to lose a few players. James Ward-Prowse, another one in
good
midfield.
Player he is.
Yeah.
He's too good for the Championship.
So that's where a lot of clubs will be looking to say, well, we'll nick that, or we'll have him, definitely.
Big blow for Arsenal. Story across most papers today. Yeah, Arsenal going to be without Alexander Zinchenko for the rest of the season. Substituted in that game against Newcastle. He had a calf problem, expected to join William Saliba on the sidelines for the rest of the title race. How would you, if it is the end of the season, have you been impressed with what you've seen this season from Zinchenko?
Oh, absolutely. He's been a real top player in the dressing room as well. The way he just moves into midfield on occasions has been excellent. They've got a real good formation when he plays. But Tierney can do a great job as well.
Yeah,
left hand side.
Tierney's more solid defensively.
He's more of he's probably a better defender, if I'm being honest. he might have to be a little bit more disciplined. But when you've got a lot of the ball, he's good at getting out on the outside, Tierney. Better probably than Zinchenko. Zinchenko comes inside a little bit more. So I've got no problem with Tierney playing at left back to the end of the season. But they still could come short because Man City is just too good.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Alan Brazil. Thursday and Friday morning, 6 till 10. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.